Hello, everyone. Welcome to Faculty Spotlights at the College of Professional Psychology. Today, we're joined by Dr. Jimmy Walsh. Dr. Walsh is one of our fantastic school psychology faculty in Chicago. Dr. Walsh, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course. So, Dr. Walsh, would you tell us a little bit about how you got into the field of school psychology? What was that path like for you?
Sure. So I have a very unusual introduction to school psychology in particular, one that's not really taught in any manuals or textbooks here at the Chicago School. But my earliest introduction to school psychology was indirectly. It was indirectly through my parents' work with my older brother. My older brother is on the autism spectrum, and there was a period in our lives where uh, my back then maybe 10 to 12-year-old brother had some problems with bullying his little brother.
Mm.
And don't worry, this is a happy ending story. We get along great and we love each other very much. But at that time, we had some, times where he would act out, do things, physically
Yeah.
because he was so frustrated. And so my mom actually worked with this school psychologist at his school, who gave this idea to my mom, which was that anytime my brother did something, some bullying type of behavior to me, that she would make a big production of handing to me a candy, a very specific candy. I don't know if people still know the candy sugar daddies, these like
Oh,
really
yeah.
hard caramel
Love
candies.
sugar
Yes.
daddies.
So she would hand that to me, and well, the beauty of it was that it was hard and it lasted a long time, and it would get all over my, 4-year-old, 5-year-old face of caramel.
Oh.
And so this was something then my brother had to see me eating the sugar daddies for the rest of the day. And at some point in my life, my mom told the story that it was a school psychologist who came up with that idea,
Wow.
and I just fell in love with school psychology at that point. I thought
Yeah.
that was a great idea, and it's sort of stuck in my head that this was an interesting career that I would one day want to follow.
Oh, that's such a great story. Um, how long have you been a faculty member with the Chicago
Yes.
School?
So I started actually as an adjunct faculty member about almost 20 years ago,
Okay.
and I was an adjunct faculty member for a couple of years in the clinical psychology program.
Hmm.
But I've been a full-time faculty member now for let's see, since 2006, which is when the school psych program
Okay.
started. So I have been I've just loved being here at the Chicago School. It was kind of the perfect place for me to go into academia.
Well, knowing that you've had an opportunity over your years of being a faculty member to work with a lot of different students, what is it that keeps you coming back? What do you enjoy most about working with students?
Well, I'd say there's the beginning and the end that are probably some of my favorite things. I just love
Yeah.
that first day of seeing the students come into our program and just getting that feel of excitement. That
Yeah.
the students know that they're going to be making a difference in their communities and their schools and their families, and it's a really great a great feeling. The Another really uh, wonderful experience is talking to alumni after they
Yeah.
graduate. Yeah, I mean, I just yesterday, as a matter of fact, I ran into a student who graduated from our program 7 or 8 years ago, and yeah, he's now a school psychologist who's also a coach at the school, and he's also He does some teaching as an adjunct, and he also has a private practice doing
That's awesome.
assessments. And it was such a nice thing to hear him just be so excited about the things that he's doing. And it's just as a faculty member, it's just a real joy to
Yeah,
see.
I love that first week of classes with new students and the orientation. It's because there's so much excitement and anticipation and anxiety and fear. I
Yeah,
remember my first day really well and have a lot of fond memories of starting my program. And to your point, I think one of the most gratifying parts of being a part of higher education and clinically oriented programs like clinical psychology, school psychology, is to see what their graduates end up doing and to
yeah,
hear the great
absolutely.
stories that they have about how their career has progressed and to know that we're a part of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a real gift. Not every job, not every profession do you have that that kind of
Yeah.
feeling of making a difference. Yeah,
Yeah, that beginning through end and beyond perspective that we get is pretty special.
yeah, absolutely.
So, having worked with a lot of students over the years, do you have some particular skill or lesson that you hope all of the students you work with come away from the program with?
Yeah, I think uh, the biggest challenge for students when they first come into our program, very often you know, the, they're coming maybe from an undergraduate
Hmm.
program, and for me, when I was an undergraduate, and I think a lot of people in undergraduate, your main thing focus is on, well, I need to get this grade.
Yeah.
What do I need to do to get my A? And I think when you're in graduate school, especially a clinically based graduate program, the I hate to say this, but the grades don't make that much of a difference, right? I've been doing this for a lot of years, and I've written a lot of letters of reference and gotten calls from people for jobs, and no one has ever asked me, "Hey, why did so and so get a B plus in this course?" 8 years ago. They want to know, does this person work well with others? Do they
Yeah.
listen? Do they, care about their fellow human? And do
Yeah.
they do what they say they're going to do? And so uh, our most successful students are the ones who uh, either right away or sometimes maybe it takes a little while to reframe their thinking from, oh, I need this, I'm in school to get an A, to
Yeah.
no, I'm in school to become the best professional that I can
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. The grades are obviously important, right? Um, uh, but to your point, sometimes a B is really well earned, right?
Yeah,
And
right.
and some A's are maybe a little bit easier, but at the end of the day, probably the most important thing to come away with is your professionalism and your professional orientation.
Right, right.
Yeah.
If you have a B, but you got that B because you worked hard and you improved your skills and you
Yep.
learned how to approach a difficult subject, that's something great. You can take that to your job,
Yeah.
right? Um, and so yeah, that I think that's a for our most successful candidates. It's our for most successful students are the ones who uh, they think of their training here as, oh my gosh, I'm about to be in charge of helping people's lives in a very short
Yep.
period of time, and it's not so much whether I got a
100%. 100%
place.
agree. So, what advice would you give to prospective students out there who are kind of looking across the landscape of school psychology programs and trying to make a decision about either whether the Chicago school program is the right one for them or whether school psychology as a field is right for them. What advice do you have for them?
Well, I guess I would say the best advice I can give is to talk to somebody who does the job that you are interested
Yeah.
in. So I'll go back to my original statement about that my brother's school psychologist.
Hmm.
I actually didn't meet him until I was in my 20s, and
Oh,
I was
wow.
thinking about going into school psychology. And I remember I had told the story to my mom. She's like, "Oh, I actually know, where that where he lives and works." And I ended up giving him a call, and he was very nice and
Uh,
talk to me about the job um, and so I would say that's still the advice I would give.
yeah.
In my case, I've put people in touch with graduates of our program who are working as school psychologists and psychologists, and I think that's always the best way
Yeah.
to learn, and if you're in the position you can even shadow somebody who's
Yeah.
doing something that you're interested in and actually see it in action, that's a really great way
Yeah. Get
to
that inside view. See what the day-to-day
yeah,
life is like.
right, right.
So, kind of going along those same lines, Dr. Walsh, um, as students are considering school psych graduate programs, why do you think the Chicago School is a good place for them to pursue their degree and to become the professional that we talked about earlier?
Yeah. So, uh, from my perspective, the Chicago School is a very unique place. It is a place where we really value the, so from the faculty's perspective, the faculty's professional experience.
Hmm.
We value the teaching skills of faculty. We value uh, our students. We want our student. What's nice about it is I feel like every student, almost everything they do from that first day in orientation is with this idea of we see you as the student, we see you as a
Yeah.
professional. We see you as a professional right away, and we see it as our job to make you reach that goal. And I think that's I'm not sure that that's true at every place.
Sure.
Um, the other thing that I would say specifically about school psychology is that I believe our school psychology program has the most diverse um, uh, skills and interests of any program in the country.
Yeah.
We have a large school psychology faculty that have interests that range from whether it's statistics, whether it's behavioral disorders, whether it's social justice. We've got a real variety of interests, and what it means is that our faculty teach the classes that they are most passionate about and excited about. And I think our students get the benefit of having a faculty member who loves what they're teaching and is
Yeah.
knowledgeable about what they're teaching in all of their classes.
Yeah, I agree. You said something, Dr. Walsh, that I thought was kind of um, created a beautiful image for me. And it's that idea that as students enter the program, we have this vision of them as a fully formed professional.
Yeah.
And we our goal is to carry them through that program to kind of fulfill that vision for each and every student. That's just a beautiful thought, a beautiful orientation, and I think a nice way to frame why the Chicago School is a good choice.
Well, good. Well, I believe it.
Yeah.
I think it's true, and I don't think it's just me. I think really our whole faculty, we really do look at our we see our students as graduates right
Yeah.
there on the first day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, Dr. Walsh, thank you so much for joining us today.
Great. Thank you so much for having me.